Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Muhammad Sheikh's channel. Please click the bell icon so that you may receive timely notifications of our upcoming videos.
واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فانقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. And hold fast all together with the rope of Allah, and do not be divided, and remember the favor of Allah on you. When you were enemies, He joined your hearts in love. Then with His favor your mourning was of brotherhood, and you were on the edge or the brink of the pit of the fire, and He saved you from it. Likewise Allah make His ayahs, signs, clear to you that you may be guided. So now in small portions, first it says وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا, and hold fast all together with the rope of Allah. You see, it says everybody. I've noticed so many people know this ayat portion by memory. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. I think most of the Muslims have memorized this portion of an ayah. Hold fast to the rope of Allah. Hold fast to the rope of Allah. It looks nice in saying, but are you? Are you holding? The one who is saying himself, ask him, are you holding fast to the rope of Allah? Do you know the ayahs of other ayahs, what it means? Because the next portion is وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Do not differ. Do not be divided. Hold fast to the rope of Allah and do not be divided. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَانَ. And remember the favor of Allah over you. إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَانَ, that you were enemies. فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ. Then He joined your hearts. Allah is reminding us in all times, right now at this moment also, and in all times, that you remember the favor of Allah over you when you were enemies and Allah joined your hearts. Who's our enemy? Who is the enemy of Allah, and how and when you are enemy? You must understand, Allah has mentioned the ayahs that the first of the enemy is the shaitan. And when you follow the footsteps of the shaitan, you are enemy to each other. We become enemies. Whenever the shaitan is among us, between us, he's all the time. Believe me, he's all the time in our thoughts. So at that time when the shaitan when you وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. When you close your eyes to the remembrance of Allah most gracious, then Allah barter a shaitan over you. So this shaitan comes in our thoughts and give different ideologies, and the enmity starts within among ourselves. So enmity, the person who is creating this enmity is the shaitan. So you must always take lessons from the ayahs and identify the shaitan in a discussion or in sitting in a situation. It is always the shaitan that is creating enmity. Believe me. And Allah is always reminding you from the ayahs that He is your open enemy. Identify. He is your open enemy, the shaitan, the devil. So you must look at the devil rather than fighting to each other. Rather than fighting each other, you must identify the shaitan. Where I am leading. Because if you follow the shaitan, you will also develop the habit of enmity. So that is why Allah says, remember the favor of Allah over you when you were enemies. فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ. Then Allah join hearts. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. And then Allah says your mourning was that you were one brotherhood. Your mourning, that with His favor, your mourning was as a brotherhood. You became brothers. When we become brothers, when Allah join hearts, remember, we can never ever be brothers to each other until Allah does favor on us and puts His favor on us, and then He puts love and affection among each other. And the love and affection cannot be placed among the brothers. Remember this, if both people are not following. Both should follow. Both should submit to the ayahs. Both means groups. One, I'm using the two, but we are talking about groups. These people can never be brothers if one of the person is not a submitter or is not true in a sense in Allah's ayahs. He can never be a brother. Brother, when Allah gives brotherhood, it is eternal. In one of the ayahs, Allah said, the whole earth, gold, you cannot bring this love and affection if you give to in fidya. Instead of, if you want a brotherhood to be established from Allah, you cannot, believe me, you cannot create this love and brotherhood from Allah. Only Allah can do it. So this is what Allah says, وَاسْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. Remember the favor of Allah over you. When you were enemies, then Allah joined hearts. And then with His favor, فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ. With His favor, your morning was brothers. You became brothers. So we must understand that it is Allah who can make us brothers, not ourselves. And but the clue is, the most important point is that we can only be brothers when both people are true and sincere to the message of Allah and implementing it. Then Allah will join our hearts. One of the parts, because enemy is Shaitan, is always there. All the time, till you die, he is there. All the time looking for mischief and troublemaking. Troubleshooting, troublemaking. All the time enmity is there. The Shaitan is there. So we should all the time looking for this Shaitan all the time. All the time you must be alert. And the one who's with the message of Allah is always looking at where the Shaitan is coming from. He must always be alert. So this is what Allah is saying, that how you can become brother. Otherwise, if Allah does not make you brothers, you say, Allah says, وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَىٰ شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَانْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. And you were on the edge of the pit of fire, and He saved you from it. If Allah does not favor us, and if you are not sincere to Allah, believe me, we are standing on the edge of the pit of the fire. Meaning just a corner, just like this we are into fire. That edge is basically your death. And the death you are into the fire. The moment that the book is closed for amendment, everything is closed. So the time is here now for us to be sincere to Allah, dedicated to Allah, submit and implement. Not only submit and implement. Then and identify the devil. Keep on identifying the devil. How the devil comes forward, from front, from behind, from all right and left. He's there. He's totally attacking you, and you are being enmity to each other. Allah says, remember, وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَىٰ شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَانْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. And you were on the edge of the pit of the fire, and He saved you from it. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيْنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. Likewise, Allah make His ayahs, signs clear to you that you may be guided. So in this short, we must understand that we are standing at the corner or the edge of a pit of a fire. If we do not be sincere, if we do not take guard from Allah as His right of taking guard, meaning we must always try to be correcting ourselves, not shielding our personality, taking guard. And if we take guard as the right of guard, then Allah says, remember the ni'mat, the favor of Allah on you when you were enemies, and He joined your hearts in love, and you were on the pit of the fire, and He saved you from it. Likewise, Allah make His ayah signs clear to you that you may be guided. So in this connection, we must all be taking this lesson from this ayah, that we can be brotherhood established from Allah, from those people who are true and sincere and taking the right of God as it should be taken from Allah. The right of God, not shielding ourselves from Allah's ayahs.